And it says we are live. It is Thursday. It is San Diego Comic-Con week. The Transformers panel ended not long ago. We're going to touch on some of the G.I. Joe stuff that was mentioned. I'm surprised that Starscream Wife hasn't checked out to see if there was anything Sailor Moon, because I feel like that would be a thing at Comic-Con. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But we're going to talk about everything from yesterday. We're going to talk about the reveals from today and what's upcoming. I've kind of had my ear to the ground. I've been tracking the news. I've been in touch with some of my contacts. Of course, I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at Loud of my baby. Hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton to let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use that donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of working on the integration finally of like the merch shelf. I'm not really sure how to set all that up. So if you notice it and you notice some things changing down there and whatnot, don't be surprised, because I don't really have it all figured out yet, but I'm trying to for you guys. I am hoping this weekend to record the content from our buddy Cyril for True Review 1000. We're almost there. Tomorrow is going to be $9.95, and I'm excited about tomorrow. We'll get to that a little bit later, though. We have a lot of news. Of course, you can always hit the join button, and you can always become a channel member right here on YouTube, right? So let's kind of get things just set up here. We have a lot of like third-party news and whatnot that we'll talk about first, right? We'll get that out of the way first, so that when we actually get to the SDCC news and whatnot, I have kind of all of that sort of organized, and we can do that in sort of an orderly fashion. And I know there's a lot of excitement. Oh, I know that there's so much that, people have thoughts about and whatnot, myself included. We'll see if it was a success or not. Did Hasbro bring the goods? Hold on, I'm having a time here. Let's see here. But we're going to talk about everything. So if you've missed some of the news, you're going to get it now, right? You're going to get it now. Of course, we'll do trivia. We'll do this week's unboxing toward the end as well. And yeah, okay, so let's get going with the news. First things first, I love this. I think that Tessa Bear is finally going to become a Transformers fan, if I can find it. It was announced that there is going to be a Transformers Crunch and Squeak dog toy of good old Optimus Prime. It's kind of a plush, so it'll probably only last 5 minutes with Tessa before she tears it to smithereens. $9.99 US. Look, if I see it, I'm going to get it. I'm going to give it to her, and it's going to be my most favorite toy ever to give her. I'm not even going to lie. Absolutely will. MMC, Mastermind Creation, showed off their double dealer. And I honestly had no idea they were doing a double dealer. And when I first saw it, I was like, interesting. It is a heavy, heavy retool of their IDW Deathsaurus. Looks really good. Probably would be able to line up with kind of your mainline bots and whatnot, because MMC is well known for being stylized, having its own look, but certainly being something that lines up with the main line. So if you didn't like or didn't get the Earthrise double dealer, this might be a chance to get a good one. I think the robot mode looks great. There's a lot of interesting curves and angles and stuff to it. I think the bird mode is very interesting. It actually has dynamic movement for what is essentially a big box. The head sculpt looks great. The wings, really, to me, if you haven't seen it, the wings look like a mix of the wings of Laserbeak from the live action movies. What was he in? Dark of the Moon? So like a mix of Laserbeak's wings from the movies and like G1 Predacon's wings. It's an interesting mix of those two, and they're pretty dynamic. Then we get to the vehicle mode. It's not so much like a missile truck as more like a tank with a missile on top of it instead of a turret. I think that's the one that they definitely stylized the most. But I'll give credit where credit is due. At least that alt mode is really clean. Really, really clean. So I think a really strong double dealer potentially coming out of MMC. MMC makes great products. I love the company. This should be impressive. I'll be surprised if it's not. We'll wait and see what happens when we get more than a gray test shot, and we actually get, colors and whatnot. But I have high hopes. And he comes with Knock and Scar, his two Power Master partners, right? So, I mean, you got the whole package, right? You got the whole package. Now, I like the Earthrise one, but I know a lot of people didn't. I think the proportions on the MMC are better, but he is going to look a little bit stylized. If you're cool with that, he might be the way for you to go. Super 7 Super Shogun Dead Optimus Prime. So this is a pretty big, it's 24 centimeters Optimus Prime. He has wheels in his feet. He has 3 points of articulation. His ion blaster can come out of his hand, and one of his fists is a spring-loaded. What do they call it? Rocket fist, I think they call it. Yeah, rocket fist. I get it. It harkens back to the Super Shogun robots from the 70s and 80s. But this is going to be $350, man. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're getting that sort of pricing from. I don't know. I get that you're third party and whatnot, Super 7, but for what this is capable of doing, I mean, you can roll it, I guess. 3 points of articulation, one spring-loaded fist. A feature is you could take the gun out of his hand. Like, I don't know. I don't see $350 here, but I mean, that's just me. Maybe you do. Maybe you're like, oh man, I love Super Shogun. I don't see the value, but maybe you do. Now, I got to touch on this. You may have noticed new prices. So Toys R Us, notorious. They've become really notorious with the price hikes. Toys R Us in Canada is hiking the prices again. Now, to be fair, I have an interesting caveat to go along with this in just a moment. At Toys R Us, the new going rate, of course, and I can't say new, it's the going rate now that they have for deluxes is $44.99, $45. So, for example, that basics class, not the basics class, the animation accurate pterosaur that's coming out is going to be $45 Canadian. I think it's 24 US. You do the exchange rate, it is not 45. So I don't know where they're getting 45 from as a logical price. That's not the best of it. At Toys R Us, and this is specifically Toys R Us, their Voyagers are going to be jumping to $54.99. There was talk of that before, it didn't happen, but now it's happening. The stickers are out. Cores are $19.99. So a lot of times when we talk about core class, a lot of people are like, it's only $10. If you're in the US, it seems like it's only $10. In Canada, it's 20 plus tax. So you got to think about, is this core worth it, right? Leaders are jumping from $84.99 to $89.99 before tax. Like, come on, Toys R Us, get real. Commander is jumping to $149.99. And get this, Titan class. So that Titan class Metroplex, the same Titan class Metroplex that was seen today in New Jersey out at a Target, along with Motormaster, also seen in New Jersey at a separate Target, and a 3-pack of Cyberverse Deluxes, that being Bumblebee, Optimus, and I don't remember who the other one is in that pack. All of that was seen today at Targets in New Jersey. That same Titan class Metroplex, when it comes out of Toys R Us, is going to be $350, is my understanding. I can't see it. I've already seen the orders up for them for $299 at Toys R Us. I've seen it up at $289 in some places. I don't see $350. You're not going to sell it. Not for that. You're going to have to end up putting it on sale or clearance or something at some point, right? It's not going to move. Not for $350 Canadian. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I guess we'll see. $350, man, for that Metroplex. And let's just say though that $350 is justified. Let's just say that that's justified. Explain to me how this Super 7 thing that's 24 centimeters. Let's even say that the Super 7 thing is 24 inches compared to the 22-inch Metroplex. Same price, $350. Now, actually, not same price. Take that back, because the Super 7 is $350 US. I don't see it, man. Like, sometimes I read this stuff and I'm like, this got to be a joke, right? Like, this has got to be laughable. No reasonable person said, you know what, that's a good price to sell that for, right? Like, come on. It's getting to the point now that I used to get mad about it, but now I'm just laughing at it because it's so preposterous. So preposterous. But that's the Toys R Us. Like I've taken Toys R Us out of my rotation of when I go to the hunt, hashtag to the hunt, because I'm not paying. Like I'm not paying that. Get real. They get a lot of the Target exclusives. They don't have the Target pricing. I would trade in our Toys R Us and all of our Walmarts for our one Target back. That's how much I preferred that store. And sad that's not here. Also of note, and I'm going to get this out of the way because I want us to stay positive, so I'm going to get it out of the way early. You can let your friends know and whatnot. We have not one, but two new reports coming to me of yellowing issues. Now, in the past, I've talked about the yellowing issues, and we have mentioned it with Kingdom Cyclonus. We've mentioned it with the Netflix Megatron, the Earthrise Megatron, the Netflix Soundwave G2 Sandstorm, the Cyberverse Hammerbite, the Kingdom Blaster, the Shattered Glass Starscream, to name a few. There's even more than that, but to name a few. The issues pertain to blue, gray, and white plastic. The two newest editions, apparently is, well, I won't say apparently. I'll give you the one that I've seen photographic evidence of. Sludge, the new Studio Series Sludge. Sadly, I have seen an image where fresh out of package, fresh out of the box. So not like left on a shelf, and you know that this is just coming out now. I don't have Sludge. So I'm going to try and explain this the best I can. Apparently, the dino head and neck goes down into like another section that's, we'll say, at the top of the main body. That section that the dino head and neck goes into, that section goes like kind of around the body, the upper body, like it's before the wings that fold in, right? So like between the wings and the head and neck, that little gray section, I've seen that turn yellow. And it was a pretty bright yellow. It wasn't a little bit. It was quite noticeable. Sad. Very sad. The other one, and I have not seen photographic evidence of this yet, but the report came to me, is the beige on apparently Legacy Blitzwing. I would take that one as a rumor because I can't confirm it without photographic evidence. All the others that I mentioned to you there, every single solitary one, including Sludge, I've seen photographic evidence of. I haven't seen it for Blitzwing. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if somebody was mistaken. I don't know what the situation was there. But it's worth noting. Now, as an aside to that, apparently the question was asked regarding this issue at SDCC, not during the panel. It was just asked at the booth, basically. And the word that I'm hearing that came out of it is they really don't know what the problem is or why the plastic would be turning. They have some theories. They think they have it fixed going forward, but they're not sure. I'm sorry, but this multi-billion-dollar company that for some reason needs crowdfunding, in the last like 2 years, this is like the third time that there's been an issue where you're saying you didn't know there was a problem. The first being an entire country, that being Canada, that didn't get the Conehead 2-pack at all. This I can't remember what the second was now, but this is the third one. I know it's the third. And again, like now you're saying you're aware of the issue, but you don't know what it is. You don't know how to fix it. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic here. The issue is that you change plastic suppliers to something cheaper. That's what you did. What you need to do is change back. It's very simple. But, you know, whatever. I hope you got it fixed because you got a lot of things up and coming that got white, gray, and blue on it, man. I asked them if the gray on the Shattered Glass Blaster, you know, could potentially change. Like, I was like, is this going to yellow too? They ignored me. So it is what it is, right? I guess if you don't address a problem, it's not a problem, right? If you say so. What else do we have here? Evan Brooks put up some information about the design for Sludge and for Slug/Slag, and basically said, look, when it came to Slug, basically he was easy to design. They knew exactly what they wanted to do with him. They had a little bit of wiggle room. Core wasn't a thing at the time in Studio Series, so that's why they threw in the Daniel, even though the Daniel is kind of garbage. They said there is no small additional accessory figure with the Sludge because Sludge has the highest parts count of all the Dinobots. And I said before, I said, all of a sudden you have this Dinobot coming out. He doesn't have the little accessory thing. And I said, Maybe it has more parts or something. It'll be interesting to see. I'm okay. Don't include the little junk thing if it's junk. But that mass of plastic should now be incorporated into sludge. If we had, 328 grams of plastic with the other 2 liters, then sludge should still be 328 grams of plastic. We'll see. But at least they acknowledge that the reason that they took out like a Wheelie or a Daniel is because they incorporated it into the main bot itself. Now, that being said, sludge has been rocked with problems. The yellowing being one, loose hips being another, loose ankles being another, feet falling off, apparently. Even Cato's said that his was awful. Here's the thing. I think we're at a point where with the prices you're charging, you can't afford to have awful. You can't afford to have average. You need stellar. You need slam dunks every single time, every single copy. Otherwise, you got a problem. Again, I feel like mainline is slowly moving toward my issues with Masterpiece. I've always said Masterpiece isn't perfect and it's overpriced. It's a lie. I've said the Masterpiece line is a lie. And I stand by it. It is. But nay, a couple of things. But I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. So there's some issues there with the Toys R Us pricing. There's some issues there with yellowing. There's some issues there with Sludge himself. The only copies that I have known of Sludge that are good is apparently Jason, PPR. His hips and knees are apparently good. And now I just saw him shake it when it was still in box, except it had the legs I loose, however, and they held. And Jay Holla, who I think just tightened up some screws, and he said it was fine. So I don't know. I'm pretty nervous. Sludge is my favorite Dinobot. I'll be really sad if he's the weakest of them. Really, really sad, because he is my favorite. No doubt about it. Okay, so let's kind of, get on the positive side of things here a little bit. Let's see. We can get rid of that. We had an interesting interview earlier the week from Peter Cullen himself, where he reflects on playing Optimus Prime and auditioning for Michael Bay, saying that, him playing Optimus Prime, they didn't come looking for him necessarily, and they didn't automatically give him the part. Apparently, he read 3 times, and in the first reading, he also done a voice for Ironhide, and Michael Bay said, yeah, just do the Optimus Prime lines. So I guess they didn't want him for Ironhide, which makes no sense to me because he did Ironhide. I don't know. Should have been both in my estimation. But whatever. It was Michael Bay's choice. It was a very kind of interesting interview. He seems reflective, emotional, thankful. Going back and saying, time goes so fast. I mean, he has the life. Let's be honest. As wonderful as he is, as many wonderful franchises as he's been a part of, as much voice acting as he has done, and the wonderful career he has built, especially with his good friend Frank Welker, I don't think anybody would argue that his absolute bread and butter in his life has been Optimus Prime. It's his most iconic role, and I'm so glad that he won the part, because he was my Optimus Prime. He was the voice of my generation, and he became the voice of another generation for their Optimus Prime. Something special about that. There is something special about that. It's a wonderful little interview. If you haven't checked it out, go to cbr.com. That's where it's posted. Worth seeing. What else do we have here? Some more G1 scripts are up. I talked about this a few weeks ago, that they were coming to the Sunbow Marvel Archive. Things like Hoist Goes to Hollywood and Atlantis Arise, right? So those are cool. Studio series, The Last Night Crosshairs listing has been found, as has Leader Class Revenge of the Fallen. The Fallen. I think The Fallen is going to be popular. I'm extremely interested to see the Crosshairs and see how they handle him, because I don't necessarily think The Last Night or The Age of Extinction were particularly strong for him. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. The Fallen will definitely be interesting. The listings apparently have no pictures, and apparently they were found on Amazon UK and Amazon France. Now, I did hit the links, and when I went and hit the links, it came up like, sorry, can't fetch the page. I don't know. Were they up mistakenly? Did they go up and then pre-sell out? Were they just up if you went through the wish list method? So bit weird, but it looks like a TLK, Crosshairs, and Revenge of the Fallen are coming. Word is in 2023. So I could believe that these could be very early listings, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Flame Toys showed their Kurokara Curry Nemesis Prime. Again, this is very stylized because it looks like they're Optimus Prime. They're Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, right? Except the Nemesis Prime from Flame Toys is going to be highly limited. 1,800 copies worldwide. Some of it is going to go to things like ACG Hong Kong. Some are going to Japan. Some are going to China. I think the United States are going to be getting 300. How they're going to be available, I'm not sure, but it's going to be a very limited piece. Again, keep in mind, as beautiful as they look and as stylized as they look, Flame Toys do not transform, right? So you got to keep that in mind if you're looking for it, but it is going to be a rare piece, no doubt about it. Funko Pop has crossed with Hallmark, and they have out a little Christmas tree ornament that looks like the Funko Pop Optimus Prime. Funny enough, how last week on the show, my unboxing was the Hallmark Keepsake 2022 Optimus Prime. But that's not the only Optimus Prime item coming from Funko. Funko Pop Optimus Prime mask. It's very interesting. It looks like the way your eyes see out is kind of in between Optimus's eyes, like sort of the bridge of his nose. Very interesting way it's done. I'm not into the role playing, the masks and stuff. I guess if you want to look like a Funko Pop Optimus, get it. Maybe it's for kids. I don't know the details about it, but there is a Funko Pop Christmas ornament. Apparently that's a Walmart exclusive, and I think it might already be out at Walmart, as a matter of fact. And a mask. So there you go. What else do we have? threezero showed their deluxe last night Bumblebee. Oh, baby, is that thing beautiful. Now, the deluxe is in between the small 5-inch M Deluxe and the pretty large, like, premium. So this is in between those. This comes in at about 9 inches. It's still a hefty price, but the detail and the paint and the sculpting and the everything, the value is there. And pictures don't do it justice. You got to see it in hand. You got to hold it in hand and feel the mass and feel that heft. And I don't like Bumblebee, but this thing is really, really beautiful. Has LEDs, comes with 60, not 6, not 16, 60 points of articulation. That's bonkers. He can get in pretty much any pose that you want. Now, again, much like with the Flame Toys offering, doesn't transform. You're getting a big, highly posable, highly detailed robot version of these Transformers, right? So it is what it is. They announced that PulseCon is coming back September 30th, October 1st. Who cares? If Pulse was something that everybody in the world could avail of, fine, but they can't. It's very limited geographically. If Hasbro should even be in retail space, then I'd probably be behind it, but I'm not. Who cares? That's my take on that. New Age showed off their Grimlock. Their Grimlock is great. New Age's Grimlock is gorgeous. And you know what? Not only is he gorgeous when he looks like his animation version, but he's gorgeous when he looks like Shattered Glass, which is basically the Trypticon coloration. He's gorgeous as G2 with his glorious blue. And he's even gorgeous with his toy colors, which is a lot of sheen and shine. And as a completely clear offering. See, I'm so excited. I threw my pen. So excited. I threw my pen. You'll notice I'm kind of trying to motor through some of the early stuff. But at this point, here's what I can say. Everything's third party so far is beautiful. None of it is particularly for me. But since I'm to a point where I'm like, not everything needs to be for me, man, if it's for you, I think that, and you're a third party fan, I think there's some beautiful, beautiful things here. Really, really beautiful things from the, Flame Toys Nemesis Prime and the threezero Deluxe Bumblebee, right down to New Age with their Legends, different versions of Grimlock. For me, I'd be the animation accurate guy, right? Cartoon is king. But, to each their own, right? So yeah, okay. New Age Grimlock. I think we can get that out of the way. I already mentioned the Legacy Metroplex. That what was the the 3-pack, the Cyberverse 3-pack that was out in New Jersey at a Target was Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, and Cheetor. That's who was in that pack. Cheetor. Keep in mind that that 3-pack and Metroplex were seen at one store in Break. I don't know if that's the name of the town. And I want to say the other one was in Middleton. I don't know. I could have the towns wrong, but they're both in New Jersey. If you live in New Jersey or maybe even New York, you probably know better than me, right? Red Cog was also seen at a Target in the U.S. I do not know where that Target was, but Red Cog, Motormaster, Metroplex, and that Cyberverse Deluxe 3-pack, all out today, baby. All out today. Let's see. I'm just trying to get that to the SDCC stuff, so we can kind of stay with that once we get going on it. We'll do the last couple of bits of news before we get to the SDCC stuff, and then I'm going to check in with you guys. DNA Design, they are putting out a upgrade kit for the Transformers like movie 1 Megatron, the 07 movie Megatron, that basically replaces his cannon and his entire chest. I'll admit, it makes it look significantly different, definitely more animation accurate. Yeah. Was the stock off that much? I don't think. You know, Megatron in the first movie was like spikes and shards and whatnot everywhere anyway. So I don't know if it really matters. If you're a real hardcore movie fan, then yeah, I guess it would matter. And I'm sure it's a great DNA set. If you're only sort of passing, or you're like, you know what, he looks great as he is, then I feel like that this is one of those sets like, you can get it, but it's not necessary. Sometimes they're necessary. In this case, I don't know if it's necessary. But you know what? Neat set, and it does make him look more like his, 07 movie screen accurate body type. What else do we have here? Crasher. Let's talk about GoBots and Crasher. So there was a kind of a rumor last week that was brought to my attention by Ugly Wretch. Shout out to Ugly Wretch. That we could get a Crasher from the Earthrise Mirage. Now, it looked like a Digibash, but I was like, you know what? I could see it. It's not the right car type. I know. Not quite the right body type. But I could see it. I mean, they did it before when they took the Classics one and they made Fracture, which is really Crasher. A similar sort of thing here. I said the magic for this working is going to be in the head sculpt. Even if you use the head sculpt basically of Mirage, you got to paint it the right way. If you can capture Crasher's face, I think people will forgive the rest. And then we saw the official reveal, and I'm like, that don't look like Crasher. I get it. The colors are basically there, but the face sculpt in the head is really far off. That's the thing. I feel like there's going to be a third-party upgrade head. I feel like that's how that's going to work for this. I would have preferred that they use the. I almost would have preferred, I should say, that they use the Siege mold, because I found the Earthrise one, certainly for transformation with the legs, I found, like, I don't know, like they would keep knocking into themselves. It wasn't smooth. It was clunky and cumbersome, which I don't understand, because it looks like the exact same mechanism as the Siege, but for some reason the Siege transformed smooth and my Earthrise one didn't. I don't know why. Maybe. Apparently she's going to be part of Velocitron is what I hear, but she didn't go up with the Walmart Convention Con stuff today. And we're going to talk about that in a moment too. I think I'd be in for a Crasher, but I would feel a lot better about it if I knew that there was going to be a different head available for her. That's my take on that. Here's the thing. A lot of people said, well, I have the Fracture from before, the Crasher from before, and I like that mold better. I don't think I need this one. Solid argument. If you got the other Crasher, I'd say stick with that. It's the Classics Mirage is a fantastic mold. I think better than this. But, again, to each their own, right? To each their own. Let's see here. Mechanic Toys, they showed off their Legends G1 Sunstreaker. Apparently, he's going to stand about 10 centimeters, which makes sense for a Legends. Looks really good. The one image that was shown with it to me looks real 3D printed, man. And I mean real 3D printed. I'm not a big fan of that notion, but assuming that, it comes to light, assuming that they can actually do the molds and do the injection molding and stuff, I think it got potential. I really do. I think it got potential to be a really nice sunstreaker. And the ornament. Okay. So Collector Con for Walmart kind of went off today in conjunction with SDCC. Here's what's interesting. The items, in case you don't know, included Cosmos and Clampdown, included Burnout and Road Rocket, I think it is. And you know what? I don't remember all of them. So let's do this. We're going to do this live right now. I'm going to tell you exactly what it was because there's a little bit of a story to go along with it. And then I'll do the comments and we'll do the SDCC stuff. So that does not want to. Oh my goodness. There. So I woke up this morning and I looked and I realized, hey, they're already up. Word is Walmart.ca put the pre-orders up at 2 a.m. this morning. Rumor is that they were supposed to be put up at 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. Eastern time. So they made a mistake. It wasn't up on Pulse yet. It wasn't up on Walmart.com yet, but it was up on .ca. Here's what's interesting. What was up there was Clampdown, Blur, Holler, the two Diaclone ones, Burnout and Road Rocket, Cosmos, and Scourge. Interestingly, no Crasher, and interestingly, no Override. As of right now, as I'm looking at it on Walmart.ca, they have Scourge out of stock. They have Cosmos out of stock. Everybody else is still there to be able to be pre-ordered. Yours truly pre-ordered Cosmos and Clampdown. Cosmos and Clampdown. The others, no. I don't want the Blur. I don't even want the Scourge. Not that I got anything against the mold or anything. But this makes me circle back to the pricing that I talked about. Remember with Toys R Us, I said that their leaders are going to $89.99. Get this. Leader class, Walmart exclusive Velocitron Scourge is going to be $72 and change. $72.17, I think it is. I don't understand how two retailers can have a variance between leader class pricing of $72, which by the way is lower than usual. Usual here now is $76.99 plus tax. But that Scourge is $72. And then you have, say the Laser Prime at Toys R Us, that would be $89. I don't understand how Toys R Us is going to stay in business that way. I really don't. I don't get it. The Pterosaur reissue and Retrax also up for pre-order. And the Maverick reissue is up for pre-order, but I think they made a mistake because the Maverick reissue is up for the same price as Retrax and Pterosaur, which I think was like $33 or something. That's not what Maverick is supposed to be at all. That's definitely an error. So people jumped on ordering it. I didn't. I think it looks ugly. But if you were able to get a Maverick for $33, yeah, go for it, man. So I pre-ordered two. I would like to have Road Rocket. I would like to have Holler, and I would like to have Burnout because I like the Skids mold. I love the Grapple mold, and I don't have any copy of the Prime RC mold because I'm not getting the Prime RC. I'm not interested enough in them to really feel like I need to secure them. I don't think these are going to be that hard to find in store, assuming your Walmart's carrying them. The only reason that I pre-ordered the two that I did is because our Walmarts in general here don't carry any of the exclusives. It's really, really rare to see them in store here. Actually, it's gotten to the point with Walmart here that you see Core, Deluxes, all the gimmick junk from Cyberverse, and you'll see some Voyagers. That's it. The The last leaders I saw there were Grindor and Ravage, and they lasted forever. Yeah, I never saw Galvatron. I never saw no, I did see Magnus. I did see Kingdom Magnus there a couple of times. So making a little bit of a liar of myself. I did see Kingdom Magnus there a couple of times. I don't know. Hopefully we'll see it. Just something to watch. But I'm glad that I got the 2 secured that I did. I hear that the Cosmos is going to be the one short packed. Why you would short pack Cosmos, I don't know. It's the one that people want the most. So yeah, let's short pack that. Nobody cares about Burnout and Road Rocket at the end of the day. They do care about Cosmos. So very interesting. And then that brings us to SDCC. And I like some stuff from here for sure. Let's check in with you guys because I know I haven't even said hello to people yet. I was trying to get through all of that other news first. And a lot of it is really interesting. Too bad that Toys R Us is doing what they're doing with the prices. Too bad we got a couple of more reports of the yellowing. That's too bad. But you know what? Hopefully we can kind of turn it all around, man. Turn it all around. So let's see here. Waspinator, happy to see you here, buddy. You got a drive ahead of you. Well, then I hope that, you know what? I hope that you're able to like listen away. By the way, I'm sure a lot of people probably know it by now. Starscream Wife is here to kind of help in the chat because we've really had some problems with bots in the last little while. Just watch. Now that she's here, we probably won't have any. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Brian. Dragonfly. Let's see. I want the Transformers Legacy. Hero is born. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that. I'm not there yet, Dragonfly. So I'm going to skip over those sort of comments. Hey, Lance Marcus. Input and I were talking actually just before I went on the air. Hey, Thatcher. What happened to GotBot? You know what? So people said, though, they said, I hope that they do the other 5. Like, you know what? I think that if you had a good head for this, like, yeah, give me a Coptor. I'm cool with that. I'd be down. Like, I'm just saying, you can use that legacy mold and give me a Psy-Kill. I'd be all right with that. I don't know what exactly we would use for Leader 1. I feel like maybe, like, Dreadwind or something from Power of the Primes could be a Leader 1, maybe. I mean, a new mold, ideally, but let's be realistic. They wouldn't do that because they don't have the rights to do those designs and stuff, right? So it got to be something that's kind of in the ballpark without being the thing, right? Turbo was my boy. And as much as I detested Scooter, I mean, he was one of the Cardinal 6, right? So you got to have a Scooter. You can pair him next to Wheelie. Just saying. Hey, Maximal 10. Listening while you eat. For customs, check out inputs, reviews, and customs. I was able to order Cosmos Clampdown and Holler this morning, but Cosmos sold out. Yeah, I heard Cosmos sold out everywhere fast. Now Cosmos was here. Like I was watching till he sold out. He was orderable or pre-orderable up until about noon my time. So, I mean, I jumped on him. But he was there a few hours after on .ca. He's not now, but he was there. Holler I want, but like it's like I mentioned. Why did I pay $39.99 for Grapple, and now all of a sudden because he's green they want $8 more? No, I'll wait till that goes on clearance. Thanks. And if it don't go on clearance, I guess I won't have it. I think he's worth a Voyager price. I don't think he's worth the Canadian Voyager price being what it is now. Right? That's what I would say about that. I don't think in the US, I don't think any of the Velocitron stuff is going to be hard to get. I think you guys are going to have an easy time. Some of you might have to look for a while for Cosmos, but if you're diligent, I think you're going to be able to get it. I just have a gut feeling. I do not think Bumblebee is greater than Optimus. I would say Bumblebee is the same tier as Wheelie. But I didn't like him when I was 5. I've never liked him. I've never liked anything about him in any form, except for animated. And animated is the one everybody hates. So I like the one Bumblebee I like is the one that everybody else hates. For the record, Input does do some pretty fantastic customs. The guy's a magician with the airbrush. Hey, Jay. I don't know if I said it earlier when I saw you there or not. Yeah, 350 is pretty wild, hey? Hey, Nye Hunter. I guess that stands for New York, hey? Does that stand for New York? I bet it stands for New York. Glad you stopped by, man. Like I knew it was Ken, but I'm just wondering if I don't know where you are. I've never known where you are, which is interesting. And all the times we've talked, I wouldn't pay U.S. retail for that Metroplex. Don't pay Canadian retail. Can you imagine that Metroplex $350? Don't get me wrong. Anybody who is a Unicron Trilogy fan, and I said this when he was announced, like for me, I don't regret any of my Titans. I love them. They are crown jewels. I adore them. But I'm also aware that this new one's not for me. I really hope that Unicron Trilogy fans look at this and say, I know it's expensive, but it's a one-time thing. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have that big of a version of that gigantic Titan. And I hope that they're happy with it. For me, no connection to the character, hashtag not my Metroplex. I can't see spending $3 on it, man. Omega Supreme, G1 Omega Supreme, maybe, but you know what I mean? Like, there's a little eye of the beholder there, right? Hey, John. Toys R Us is out of business here. Toys R Us is out of business it's kind of out of business. It's in Macy's, is my understanding, right? I don't think it's going to last in Canada at this rate. Not if this is their business strategy, right? And like Draculus is there on the shelf now for $84.99. I'm sorry, it's Mind Wipe. Let's call spade, right? It's Mind Wipe. Mind Wipe here was $16.99. Why is this $84.99? Sorry, don't get behind it, man. Yeah, see, Toys R Us. I don't even like the US is always like, oh, I miss Toys R Us. Why? It's not good. We miss Target. I get it. Can you imagine if your Target was gone? Like Jay Holla. I know you get a lot from Target. Can you imagine if they were just gone from your country? Just imagine. Yellowing equals monkeypox. I can't stay for long. Hey, Caldillo. Got Legacy Sandstorm. Legacy Sandstorm? Oh, yeah. Okay. Legacy Sandstorm. I'm sorry. Yeah. Night Prowler and Buzzsaw. I like Buzzsaw. I don't really like the other two molds. So, again, they never came here. That Wave 1.5 or whatever you want to call it. I think it's a Walmart exclusive. Never came here. To be fair, Wave 1 has hardly come here. Like, I've seen, except for when I picked up what I picked up, except for that one time, I've seen, I think, 3 RCs and 1 skids. And, I've seen a few core, and I've seen a bunch of bulkheads, and I've seen exactly two blasters now. Hey, David. Yes, that's right. Yellowing on the 86 Spike is another one that's on the list. I wasn't exhaustive with the list, right? Jay got the toy color. Pterosaur still has the wing issue. Everybody talks about this wing issue. I don't know what it is. My Pterosaur is fine. He doesn't have a wing issue. I guess I'm lucky, but I don't know why he wouldn't have the wing issue. They just recolored it. They're not going to fix anything. They'll take effort. Come on. First jack up the prices and then switch to cheaper plastics. Way to get bigger profits. To hell with customers, right? And then not be aware of the problems, right? Because remember, there's no problem with distribution that they're aware of either, right? Sludge is definitely heavier than the other two. And again, I can't say anything about Sludge. I don't have him. Now, he is starting to come out in Canada. He has shown up at some GameStops in, I'll say, really central Ontario and Manitoba. Has not shown up my neck of the woods. So, but I'm crossing my fingers, man. I cannot wait to get that guy. Sludge is terrible. The legs just fell off of mine. I thought, Jay, you fixed your legs. I did tighten the screws, but I transformed him and the legs just fell apart. Wow. Like, to me, people will be like, oh, yeah, but that's okay. I mean, we'll just fix it and stuff. To me, that's inexcusable. You don't have, with the outrageous prices you're charging, you don't have the luxury of just all right or average. Everything that you put out got to be a slam dunk. If it's not, then as far as I'm concerned, you deserve every piece of indignation that you get, right? People say I'm hard on Hasbro, and I am. In the last 3 years, I've become exceptionally hard on them because you jacked your prices unreasonably. You expect me to pay for it, so now I expect that much better quality out of you. If you're not going to give it to me, then I'm going to call you on it. But I also give credit where credit is due. Case in point, the whole reason I ordered Cosmos after saying I didn't really need a Cosmos is because I know it's based on this. And this is fantastic. The Origins Bumblebee is fantastic. Excellent, excellent mold. If Cosmos is based on this, I cannot see how Cosmos cannot be excellent. But this shouldn't be the exception. This shouldn't be the standout. This shouldn't be, wow, that's really great what they did. This should be the standard, right? This needs to be the standard for your prices, right? We all talk about how excellent Cyclonus is. That needs to be your standard, not your standout. That needs to be your everyday. We all talk about how excellent the Wreck-Gar and Junkeep is. But that needs to be your standard. You can't go below that. That needs to be your standard for the price that you're charging, right? So your standard got to be excellent, basically. Hey, Albert. Tried pre-ordering Override and Hasbro Pulse. Was still in stock when I clicked on it. Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that a lot today, that apparently people put stuff in their cart on Pulse, and then by the time they get through checkout, it's gone. And, like, there's an error. That seems like a bad ordering system, man, if that's what happens. Hey, Blue. Back on the correct account. What about Christmas? Christmas ornament. Yeah, boo. I don't support Pulse. Interesting. It says in stock. Yeah, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dragonfly, you're saying in stock. I think though that you're using Pulse US. I think Sam is Pulse UK. I think I could be wrong with that. Sam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, buddy. Working but heading home. Hey, Sovereign Knight. Boy, Cosmos was a pain. Cosmos was so easy. I didn't even jump on it right away. I was like an hour, and I went back, and he was still there. I'm like, yeah, okay. Him and Clampdown are cool. And then it was like 2 hours after. I don't know. I guess a lot of people didn't know that Walmart.ca had made the mistake and didn't check until 2, and by then it was too late. Clampdown is sold out on Pulse. Crasher looks like what? Fistina from Ben 10. I don't know what Ben 10 is. You talk about a lot of stuff, Blue, that I don't know what it is. Like, we live in different worlds. I don't know what that is. Fistina is based on Crasher. There you go. Sam just said Fistina is based on Crasher. Hey, Brian. Was able to pre-order Cosmos. Nice. My first thought was that Leader 1 could be made from the Top Gun mold. Ew. No, let's not. Don't do that to Leader 1. Make it look like that. R.I.P. Derek. I don't know who Derek is, but R.I.P. to him, I guess. The Siege Brunt head looks closer to her head than the head they chose. I don't see that either. I don't see how the Siege Brunt head looks like Crasher's head. They should have done a new head is what they should have done. As we go down here, and I'm sorry that I'm skipping some stuff here a bit, guys, because I want to get down to the SDCC stuff, because that's what I'm excited about. Been to 2 Walmarts today and seen it. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think any of this is gonna be on the shelf. Like, when I pre-ordered my stuff from Walmart.ca, like, it's saying we'll start shipping September 26th. My understanding is that while it was all announced today, it's not supposed to be out for another month or so. So I wouldn't, I don't know if in the US Walmart breaks street date. They don't here. I don't know why they got street dates. That's foolish. If the package comes in, just put the bloody thing out. Let's go down. Went to WAL, had Cosmos in cart, and it got removed at checkout. Luckily, I got it from Hasbro Pulse. Yeah, a lot of people went crazy for it, right? Had to cut into my Legacy Blitzwing money to nab 2 Cosmos. Okay. Too bad. Maverick is so bad. He could have been a good base for Leader. I don't know. I don't see Leader 1 in him. I guess if I stop and think about it, but I don't think of Leader 1 as that spindly and gross. I guess. I don't know. I put a pre-order down to secure it. No, I don't even. But again, like I don't like Top. I've never seen Top Gun. I don't really like wars and armies and all that. Like I'm not a wars, armies, guns blazing guy. I think we're in a world now where I don't understand why we have armies anymore. I don't understand why we have wars anymore. Like just take a bunch of nerds, okay, put them together in a room and put them on, put their headsets on and their video games against a bunch of nerds in another country. Let them hash it out for the weekend, right? With some snacks and, some soda pop and stuff. And whoever wins the game at the end wins the war. Boom. Nobody gets hurt. Nothing bad really happens. And you abide by it. That's the way the world should work. Everybody lives. Sounds like a good plan to me. I can barely manage 5 channels. Adding a 6th for animation and comics would kill me. Why do you have 5 channels, Anthony? I got 1, and I can barely manage this. Cosmos like space trash can, yes. Difference in price. I'd usually less leader mentality. Walmart also has far more stores than Toys R Us and can take the profit hit. Here's the thing, though, Manitoba. Nobody's taking a profit hit. The prices are so astronomically high by thousands upon thousands % of a markup that they have profit to burn. When they go on clearance, they're still making thousands % profit. Anybody who thinks different does not understand how economics actually works. I get what you're saying, but neither should be hurting. The only way that either would be hurting is if they've been grossly mismanaged. And I know, guys, I know I've been missing some stuff, and I apologize, man. Where did that go? How high up do I have to go here? Hey, Mind White, Mechanic Studios that made Thunderbolt, a Legends Blitzwing, and overall it's great. They did do that, and it was pretty good. You're right. It's too bad it wasn't bigger. Unless you're a Legends collector. That's, been cool. Picked up some Motu stuff at GameStop for dirt cheap. GameStop's getting better, I think, honestly. Pathfinder from I guess you could do it from Cosmos, but they don't really have the same body type. Holler I want, but only if he's around after a while. Otherwise, I don't care. Yeah, that's fair. I may not be the G1 spawn, but I never know Ben 10 Omniverse had Crasher in it from... I made a retro purchase this week. Some TFs, ghost parts of Mask, Switchblade coming in. That'd be nice. Switchblade was cool. What a great vehicle. Miles Mayhem, what a great bad guy, man. What a great bad guy. Didn't realize there was such hate for... Everybody is always like, animated Bumblebee's trash. I'm like, he's the only one I like because he's sarcastic and a bit saucy. I don't like the G1 Bumblebee. I don't like any of the movie ones. The Transformers Prime one got on my nerves. He was too preachy in RID. Didn't like him at all in Cyberverse. He was a ditz in Cyberverse. I don't like the character. I don't know why he's such a big star. My other copy of Sludge arrived today. Glad to report I do not see any yellowing on him. But what about the looseness issue, Sovereign? As we go down here, I know I'm skipping stuff, guys. I apologize. Got to get down here. I wouldn't give anything to Reunited with the toys I had years. Oh yeah, we're all like that. A product represents a company. If it's half-assed, so is the company. Boom. Sovereign said there. Now you know why I'm so critical. Now you know why I hold such high standards. I respect my bank account. I respect my money. And I expect the best products for. And I don't feel like over the last 3 years, we've gotten that. Everybody went bonkers when Siege came out. Why? Big deal. So what? They gave it a waist and an ankle tilt. And you think that was worth $10 more? Sorry, don't see it. I think Siege was great as it went on. I think there were a lot of issues with Earthrise, and a lot of people had a lot of problems with Kingdom. I don't know, man. I get it. I'm with Sovereign, man. I'm on the Sovereign Night train. Hey, Sean C. Cosmos is not based on Origins B. It was originally, but Takara took over its design and started from the ground up. No, they did not start from the ground up. They incorporated parts of that B into it, Anthony. That's incorrect. What they did was they thought what the one you're talking about was Override. Override was supposed to be based on Hot Rod, and Takara took it over and did that from the ground up. But they didn't do it with this. There are a lot of new parts in there, but there's a lot of the engineering that is also based on this guy. Things have changed for sure, no doubt about it. Not the least of which is B's whole head and this whole piece and this all gone. That's all gone. There's a whole kind of chunk of torso in there, right? But it is based on that. The Override, I think they did the right thing and started it from the ground up. But no, the Cosmos is not a completely new mold. That's not right. Cyclonus would be excellent if the yellowing was 10 years down the road. How about he'd be excellent if there was no yellowing? I mean, I got stuff from Combiner Wars. I got stuff from before. I got stuff from 30 years ago that hasn't colored. And my Shatterglass Starscream has gotten exponentially worse. Like you see, I don't know where you guys are in the chat, but if you're where I am, Marcus Allen put up a thing that said Shansi in all capital letters and 2 exclamation marks, and he has a yellow smiley face. Like the yellow on my Starscream is getting as bad as the yellow on that smiley face. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. I spent good money on that, and I feel like I got ripped off. Live in Ireland. There you go. Yeah, I don't know all the geography over there, Sam, but I figured I knew you were in Europe, and I figured if anything, you would use the UK pulse, right? My later copies seem to be okay. No yellowing so far. You're lucky, man. I found the Buzzworthy 4-pack. Now, I'd like that 4-pack. That's also out. I would love that 4-pack. I don't know if our Toys R Us will even get it. And if so, they'll probably charge like $280 or something for it. The fact that Target and Walmart use low inventory methodology. Well, yeah, part of the problem, Anthony just pointed out there, the low inventory methodology, like scarcity economics has become a thing, right? Drive up price, drive up demand by offering less. It's a disgusting way of doing business, and it's not going to be sustainable, especially in a world doing economic recovery. It's going to catch up, and the golden age of being able to grossly overcharge, especially for luxury items, it's not going to last because it's not a sustainable business model. You'll see changes, or you'll see companies go under. I can't see companies going under, but unless they make changes, man, just saying. And it's not just Hasbro. Like, there's a lot of companies like it, right? I see someone mistransformed Legacy Blitzwing to look like Leader. I haven't seen it. I don't really know anything about the Legacy Blitzwing, to be fair. Just say no to yellow. None of my Transformers, except for the post-Earthrise stuff, have yellow. Yeah, but that's when the problems really started, right? Through, say, the end of Earthrise, like 2020, 2021, and at the beginning of 2022, when they admittedly said we weren't doing QC checks. We couldn't fly, so we just didn't do any QC checks. Like, they outright said that. So, yeah, you're right. Kind of after the Earthrise stuff is when the majority of problems started. Now, there have been reports of yellowing on Siege Jetfire. I haven't seen it on mine, but I've heard reports of it. So maybe that was an anomaly early on. I don't know. Amazon's going screw. Don't get me started with Amazon. I had 2 things that were supposed to arrive yesterday. They came past, and now both of them I have an email that says, we'll let you know when and if these come in stock and give you a new date. That's the way Amazon works for us. Very unreliable. Still keeping an eye on the Kingdom Blaster. I think he is trying to start to yellow. It's not going to stop. If it starts, it's not going to stop, just so you know. Okay, I'm down there now. Let's get to the SDCC stuff, the trivia, and the unboxing, and get out of here. This is the last of it. So, SDCC, let's get into it. This is the good stuff because we've complained about yellowing. We've complained about prices. I complain about that stuff all the time. We've complained about availability and how hard it was to order the Velocitron stuff, and it was. Hopefully, there will be more stock made available. If you're in the US on .com and Pulse, if you're in Canada, hopefully more stock becomes available on .ca. But to be fair, I don't think they're going to be hard. I think there's going to be plenty in store when it starts rolling out. That's just my gut feeling. Hope I'm right for everybody. I really, really do. But SDCC. So we had the preview night last night. And in the preview night, we saw a lot of pictures and images for the HasLab Victory Saber. Honestly, he looks brighter than I expected. I thought the red and the blue were both going to be darker, but I'm okay with them being lighter because they're beautiful, bright, brilliant. But I see all that white and I'm terrified. If that yellows, it will absolutely ruin the entire thing. If it stays that pristine white that it is now, it's glorious. What they should do is all that white should be painted. All of it should be painted. I think Victory Leo looks tremendous. I think together they look gorgeous. I mean, it looks great. It really, really does. He can hold his sword both. Now, I don't think I would have this reaction to it if I didn't see that video and already knew how his articulation and stuff was. I think I would be looking at it and saying, based on the way they have him posed, I'm nervous about his articulation. I'll say this. Thank goodness that they reached the tier that unlocked the shield, because when you see that jet mode or that super jet mode without the shield to kind of fill in that part of the body, it looks bad. Like the top-down view looks real bad for that. So I'm glad the shield was a tier that got hit. Speaking of HasLab, we also saw on display the Hiss tank. And man, oh man, the detail, just the riveting up around the canopy and whatnot. Like, and along the red canopy, like not only is the riveting there, but it's picked out with silver detail. All of the tread painted and the inside of the tread. Even the red seat, when you open up the opening on the back, it's all the bells and whistles are there. It looks like the size is there. Again, do I think it's all there for the price? I can't analyze G.I. Joe stuff the same as Transformer stuff because I don't have the background, certainly with the classified series. I feel like it might be a little overpriced, but not by much. Not when you see all the love that's gone into it. I feel like it was priced probably pretty accurate, but like I said, I don't at all think that I'm qualified in any way, shape, or form to really talk about G.I. Joe stuff. Victory Saber, I broke it down a long time ago, what I thought about that price. And I think it's slightly overpriced, but not by much. Not by much. And the more I see, the more I think, might have been in the ballpark. We'll see. We'll see. But I liked what I saw last night. We also saw all of the Shattered Glass stuff, both the Wave 1 and the Wave 2 stuff. It looks good. I don't have any of the Wave 2 stuff. I'd like to, but again, it's all Pulse exclusive. So too bad for me, I guess. We also saw the Amazon 50th anniversary movie set, which I talked about last week. I still think that looks beautiful. It was next to the Bumblebee car if you want to get pictures with it. We saw Metroplex, and like I knew he was big, and it was an interesting pose because they had him in the like more stout robot with his arms and stuff out. He gets real broad. He's big. There's no doubt about it. He's definitely a Titan. If he's the Metroplex for you, I'm happy for you. That's all I can say about that. A lot of white there, though, again, and that makes actually a lot of white, a lot of gray, and a lot of blue, and it all makes me very nervous for him. What else did we see last night? We saw Legacy Waves 1 and 2. We saw Blitzwing there. His turret moves. I think that's nice, but underneath his turret, kind of between the two beige sections on the side, over his nose cone, there's like his purple chest, I guess it is. That should be beige. And I find it really stands out as an eyesore because that panel should be beige. I don't know if there was a way to do it, but it should have been. We saw the Earth Spark banner. Talking to a couple of contacts of mine. Apparently the two humans who I mentioned last week, Mo, and I can't remember the other one's name. Apparently they're siblings. I didn't know what they were, but apparently they are siblings in this series. So brother and sister, I believe. So take that for what you will. I would take that as a rumor now. Last night, we also saw the G.I. Joe AWE Bumblebee crossover with Stalker. I still think Stalker's the best thing there. And Bumblebee in the vehicle mode. Don't need the robot mode. It's just cool to have the vehicle and Stalker. We also saw a Cobra recruitment shop token by Super 7. I thought that this was a clever way that they were doing it. And it leads you to basically the Super 7 shop. And they have there apparently a bunch of like their ultimates and their reaction line and whatnot. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. The His tank on display I already talked about. Exclusive for G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter. And when you take off his glasses and his hat, like it's the wrestler, Sergeant Slaughter. Like it's Sarge, right? So whether you're a wrestling fan or a G.I. Joe fan or both, man, if you can nab Sergeant Slaughter, do it. Heck, he could probably even work with your modern day like WWE and AEW figures. Like he's probably scaled the same and could interact with those. Wouldn't that be a fun match to have, you know? Also exclusive is Dr. Mindbender. Comes with a skull and a brain, and he comes with canisters. And oh, come on, good night. He looks amazing. Both of those SDCC exclusives. We also saw Crocmaster, Zorana. We saw Stalker. All of these part of Classified. Stalker and Dusty, particularly, look really, really good. And I know a lot of people were waiting on Dusty for a long time. The Crimson Twins look phenomenal. And I like that they are incorporating Tiger Force and Python Patrol decos. Really, really nice. Really nice. It was very fun to see it, actually. Very fun to see. We also saw a whole bunch of 3 3/4 scale. That's my territory. That's what I like. And what did we see there? We saw Failsafe. We saw Ace. I loved seeing Ace. I was like, yeah, baby. And we all know why we see Ace, of course, because you got to go with a Sky Striker, right? Scarlet, but not in her traditional getup. It's that blue outfit. I don't know, she's Arctic or something. I can't remember what it was now. Ripcord, Cobra Commander, a Cobra Trooper, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Cobra Trooper with the orange vest and the like things for landing a plane, right? I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, a lot of offerings. I was really excited to see it. For Super 7, they showed the Ultimates Bat, Cobra Commander, Duke, and Snake Eyes with Timber. And the Snake Eyes is like his very first outfit, like not the famous Snake Eyes outfit, like his very first one when he is all irradiated and almost like dead out in the snow, and the blind old guy takes him in, and then Timber goes with him and stuff. Like, oh, so good. I'm sure very expensive, but so good. So everything from the preview night blew me away. I was really, really impressed with a lot of it, both for G.I. Joe and Transformers. Maybe even more so for G.I. Joe, to be honest with you, because I don't feel like they're quite as overpriced as the Transformer stuff. Then we get to today, and today has been a day of reveals, both third party and official. Oh baby, let's get into it. I'm going to just check in with you guys here before we kind of get into it, just a little bit, because I know I've been missing a bit of stuff here. Let's just go up. John, if you got to go, that's all you can do, buddy. Oh yeah, the original Toy Crasher. No, nobody wants the Toy Crasher. You want the animation Crasher. Come on. Even if they fix the yellowing, it'll be something else. Hasbro's Madhouse. You're right. And here's the thing. I don't blame the designers. I blame the people that make the final calls, that make those decisions, that decide where the money's going, decided, you know what, we don't need to do QC checks. We're not going to hire them. Whoever controls those purse strings should be fired, because they're running that company into the ground. I mean, just recently, their most recent, movements in the stock market, like their stock price went up largely because they have a lot of new announcements that were coming with SDCC and all these exclusives and stuff. So it bolstered their price in the stock market, but their last revenue that they recorded was down. There's a reason for that, because you're doing bad business. That's what you got to watch, right? That's really what you got to watch. Cosmos sold out in the US. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., Hasbro Pulse, Flame War, and Alpha Trion. See again. I mean, so I can't get it. I don't care. Anthony got it there. If you want to order it from Pulse, go for it. It's not a part of my life. If Metroplex or Victory Saber yellow, I hope the people who bought them will raise hell. They should. His tank 100. Better 300 for his tank. Better be a Roomba too. Like I said, I'm not in a position to really speak to that, right? Yeah, the licensed G.I. Joes have a Dollarama. That's cheap. Yeah, but did you see how limited the articulation is on? I think that's the reaction stuff or reflection or whatever it's called. Imagine if they pushed back the War for Cybertron stuff until the QC could be checked. Yeah, but see, you couldn't push it back because you had to make money for the millionaires so that they could get dividend payouts, eh? Because that's the most important thing is making sure that the millionaires are richer. You can grab a KO of Lego Optimus Prime on AliExpress for $65. Does he have knees? Heard the Mega Hiss was bad to... Oh, I don't know if it's bad or not, but I know it looks beautiful. With how bad that Megatron Hiss tank sounds, I have contemplated on canceling it. Well, now I wasn't talking about the Megatron Hiss tank. I was talking about the HasLab Hiss tank. I don't know anything about that Megatron Hiss tank. I know it's big. It's quite large. Imagine Blitzwing. What? Imagine Blitzwing a Seeker mold. Oh, wait. He was. Make that a legacy. I guess. In the cartoon, Blitzwing's animation is actually backwards. The thruster's actually supposed to be the front of the tank mode. It still doesn't change that part above. You're right. You're absolutely right. The thrusters are supposed to be in front of the tank, and that's what I did as a kid. But it still doesn't change that the nose cone with that canopy section, I guess, above the nose cone should be beige. But good point, though. I was going to get it, but maybe not now. I know some of my coworkers are considering grab one of the huge DeLorean Lego sets from AliExpress. The Lego Voltron was not bad. By the way, so you watched the what? By the way, so you watched The Company Man? The guy made Hasbro versus... No, I've never heard of The Company Man. But Mattel's better than Hasbro. They're doing better business. There you go. Simple as that. Okay, so let's get into this. The reveals for today from third party. I'm going to try and do this quick because there was so much news today. From third party reveals from Diamond Select, we had a series of things that came up. They put up the next kind of two waves of their miniatures. Wave 3 has King Starscream or Coronation Starscream Jazz and RC and Galvatron. I mean, they look great. Then the Wave 4 is Hot Rod, Magnus, who else is that? Dead Optimus, and I have no idea who that is. I don't know what I wrote down there. Is it Pterosaur? Hot Rod, Magnus. It can't be Pterosaur. Anyway, these are basically minifigs. That's why I didn't pay that much attention to them. It's cool that they're there, but unless you're, remember like little Creos and stuff, like they're basically like minifigs that could work with your Lego stuff, I guess. They also showed off the Beast Wars Megatron statue. Now, this is not the Transmetals. This is just the original Beast Wars. He's very purple. It's very big. It's very detailed. It's very nice. We'll get to the other one in a bit. So the original Beast Wars Megatron statue was shown last night. Really, really nice. threezero showed their deluxe Optimus Prime from Revenge of the Fallen. Looks really, really good. And the Bumblebee movie Soundwave and Ravage. All of it looks good. Again, it's threezero. It's robots that don't transform. Prime 1 showed off their Transmetal Megatron. Oh, buddy, this thing is gigantic. And he's standing on the fallen body of Tarantulas. Oh, man, it's huge. I cannot possibly imagine what the price of it will be. But it's got to be something bonkers. Then we get into the main reveals coming out of SDCC for Hasbro themselves. SDCC has an exclusive with DK3 Breaker, which is basically the Blue Trail Breaker that I talked about last week and said it should be an SDCC exclusive. It absolutely is. So if you want a Blue Trail Breaker, he's kind of up now on fan channels and stuff, right? Hero is Born set. That is Orion Pax from basically the Studio Series or Buzzworthy Cup. Makes sense. And Alpha Trion, which of course is logically from the Studio Series Scourge Sweet Mold. I would like to have that. I would like to have it. I think it's the best version of those two that we've had. Now, don't get me wrong. I like my Alpha Trion. That's the Lion Lad. But to pretend that he can rival this new one would be preposterous for me to say. He cannot. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know how to get it. Not a clue how to get it. I hear it's a Pulse exclusive, so I guess I'm out of luck. But hopefully it will be made available through some other means, I guess. Let's see. Bot modes were shown at SDCC. Apparently, alt modes and accessories will be shown on August 16th. Why August 16th? I don't know. I don't know what the significance is there. But let's get into the bots that were shown. Skullgrin. I talked about last week. I said I like the deluxe. Love the new one. It's a nice melange of the shell and robot mode. I don't know what I assume he turns into a tank, but like, oh man, it looks really good. Again, I'm nervous because there's gray and white on him, but I think that's the Skullgrin update I've always waited for. I love the original. Him and his inside robot were two of my main. I had him as two separate characters because I didn't have many Decepticons as a lad. So I had them as two of my main Decepticons, like forever. So this I find really rewarding. I hear he's Voyager. He looks beautiful. Then we have Blanker. That's the name they come up with for Point Blank. I'm happy that we're getting Point Blank, but I looked at him and I was like, his proportions seem weird. Why are his hips rounded? I think I would have liked it better if his hips had been more squared. The round hips and the way the squared off torso is above it seems jarring to me. It seems a little out of whack. I'm not sure. I'm definitely in for him, 100%, because I want the Autobot Target Masters just like I had the Decepticon ones. I had to get the Decepticon ones, and then I had to get a bunch of little Siege Battle Masters to give them their Target Master partners. Some I've even since replaced with printed versions. But yeah, Point Blank, totally informed. Happy to have him. He will come, by the way, with Peacemaker, so that's a good to know as well. Crankcase is a remold, basically, of I appreciate it, Blue. And he is our Super Chat super fan. Down with Hasbro Pulse. I mean, it's something that's keeping me and millions of other fans from getting certain items, right? Anyway, Crankcase, he's a partial of Skids. Looks really good. I'm cool with that as a G1, G2 Crankcase. Dead End looks pretty animation accurate, more animation accurate than I expected. I think the car mode, though, is going to have some purpley windows and stuff, much like his movie version. Armada Starscream was shown. The booster flaps flip up. He looks really good. He's not the Starscream for me, but he's a great looking Starscream. Something with the shoulder pieces looks a little odd to me, but you know what? I can't say much about it. He's not my Starscream, but I really hope that fans of Unicron Trilogy see the value in him for sure, because I do think he looks really, really, really good. He looks like a lot more than just an upsized version of the deluxe to me. It's not like the Earthfry Starscream. I think there's more done here, but time will tell for sure. Beast Wars Inferno was shown. He looks great, and then the kind of like the cap off was the Leader Clash Transmetal 2 Megatron. Oh man. Impressive. That is a true blue leader, man. That is a true blue leader. I can say it already just for the molded detail and the paint and the coloration. Really impressive. Really, really impressive. It was also known that the other mini bots are going to be done. And here is the big piece of news that I like to hear. Apparently, there could be a Coneheads reissue in Legacy. And what everybody thought was the forgotten Armada Optimus Prime could be simply being held off until the 20th anniversary of Transformers Armada, which is quickly approaching. So I would say the Armada Optimus is coming. And I've complained and I've said bad business. And I said you didn't know there was a problem about the reissue of the Coneheads. Make it happen. You need to desperately start making better business decisions, and you left a lot of fans very disgruntled. A lot of pre-orders were left on the table that were not fulfilled. It looked bad. You got to fix it. This is a step, if they do it, in the right direction. I'm going to give you the trivia, and then we're going to do the unboxing and get out of here. And the trivia, I like this, comes to us from our buddy Dragonfly, and the trivia tonight is Zebop Scandana, Basso Profundo, and Allegra from the episode Carnage in C minor are from what planet? Did they come from Earth? That's A. Or did they come from Malleus Minor? That's B. Did they come from Eurythma? That's C. Or did they come from Antilla? That's D. So Earth, Malleus Minor, Eurythma, or Antilla? A, B, C, or D? Where did they come from in Carnage in C minor? Let's go up here just a little bit. I need that Dragon Megs. Honestly, Jay, I'm there with you. He's beautiful. I'm also pumped for Point Blank and Crankcase. I'm there. My first super chat was for Fire Brothers on his birthday. Nice. Down to $3 left in your Google Pay. I don't know how Google Pay works. Not a clue. I don't think you're going to have to go that far, Waspinator, for a Transmetal 2 Megatron. Reissue of Earthrise Coneheads and Legacy would be a gift from the gods. I agree. And you know what? Don't put it out for jacked up price. Put it out for what it was. Make it right. Make it right. That's all fans want, is good business decisions, be treated fairly. And they used to. I used to be a huge Hasbro defender. But I'm not going to defend a company when you keep making bad choice after bad choice. You need to start making good choices. Please. I'm begging you. Start making good choices, man. But the Coneheads, wait, the Coneheads as in Earthrise Coneheads. Yes, as in the Earthrise Coneheads. Nice. Subway is good. Actually, you want to hear a fun fact, Anthony? Subway is literally about 3 minutes from me, and I don't even need to drive there. I can just walk there. It's great. If that Armada Optimus Prime prototype is coming out, that'll be a dream. That's what I hear. I hear they're just saving it for the 20th anniversary. Google Play is basically linking your credit card, debit card. Oh, okay, right on. Not interested in the Dragon Megs. Opted for the His Tank Megs. That's fair. That's fair. D, E, E, O, B, B, B. There's a lot of B's. The answer is C this time. The answer is C. It is Eurythma. They're called Eurythmans. And, of course, they were from Carnage C minor. They're the musical planet, right? Okay, let's do this. This is the unboxing. I have one thing that came in. One item that came in. I had two more items from Amazon that after getting the notice saying, oh, sorry, it's going to be a delay. But this is the review for tomorrow. And it is none other than G-Axis. This is a Voyager. This is a Voyager done right. This needs to not be the exception. This needs to not be a standout. This needs to be the standard that every single solitary Voyager, if you want to charge the price you're charging, they all need to be this good. And I'm going to tell you now, he's going to score real well tomorrow. We're going to see him next to the Deluxe. I do have concerns about the yellowing, but I'm going to explain exactly why this guy fills the bill in every conceivable way as a Voyager, and I'm going to use him as a point of reference as in explaining why the Studio Series Hot Rod is not a Voyager. I'm going to use this guy as a comparison to that. It's going to be a very positive interview. I'm going to give Hasbro credit. You did right. You did right. You did right. The price makes sense. The value is here because it's everything that we've always had as a Voyager and so much more. Tomorrow, it's going to be a good one. For episode 995, it's going to be a good one. And, of course, we're going to cover everything. That's it. We've been here. We've gone through everything SDCC. My wife has been patient. My dog has been patient. And you guys have been patient as we've gotten through all of the news. Love you guys. It'll be interesting to see tomorrow's panel where we are sure to get a lot more information about the upcoming EarthSpark series. Hopefully, some of the pre-orders become a lot easier. Man, the Shattered Glass stuff and that Hero Rise 2-pack. I wish. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll get my sludge in. That's been on pre-order forever. Not going to hold my breath. We'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fantastic. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member, baby. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. We will be back next Thursday. We're going to have probably some more reactions from SDCC as we still have tomorrow to go. And we still know there's at least one more panel. I hope you guys have a tremendous weekend. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference. Every single one of you, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.